Do you guys see what Howie'S been doing? Do you see what he's been doing? He's strategically putting his chess pieces all over the board exactly where he wants them to have it perfectly set up for his big move that he is about to make this draft. Dallas still stinks. You by the way, King Dingbat here, and is the Philadelphia Eagles not the greatest franchise ever? Are they not the best? I mean, even in the off season, they are entertaining as hell. What a week it's been, from Ezekiel Elliott wanting to come to Philly, to Lane Johnson's extension, to Terrell Edmonds coming in, to all the rumors of possible trades, Bijan Robinson visiting the Eagles, Jalen Carter now visiting the Eagles. It just doesn't end, and we're going to get into it in a second, because Howie'S is up to something, and he's up to something big. But before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, most throttled, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support you guys give to me. It really, really means a lot. It really does. All I ask is you double check, you double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. Notifications are still turned on. We've been having problems with notifications. I don't know if it's a Philly 500 problem or if it's just been a YouTube problem, but a lot of people have asked me what's up with notifications. So just double check. That would be really, really, really good, and I really appreciate you guys. Now, before we get into exactly what I want to talk about, we do got some things going on with the Eagles. Josh Tolentino says this: Eagles are one of just 2 NFL teams who won't hold mandatory minicamp. Nick Sirianni's overall belief is that fewer and less intense practices will keep players healthier, and the non-forced sessions also help appease some of the team veteran players. Now, I gotta say this. Well, before I say this, let me do this. All right, we ready? So, a year ago, I would have had issues with this. I would have said, what are we doing? We can't afford minicamps. We got a lot of new faces coming in, a lot of new guys. Jalen Hurts is his second year. We got to improve. We can't afford to not have these minicamps and all that kind of stuff. But the truth is the Eagles didn't miss a beat. From week 1 to the Super Bowl, they didn't miss a beat. And I have no problem with this. We also, for the injuries we did have, we went into the Super Bowl relatively healthy for a team in the Super Bowl. Usually, they are way more banged up than the Eagles. So I really can't complain about this. I really don't have a problem with it at all. That's the schedule the Eagles want to take. Then I say, so be it. Take it. Then Ed Kraft said this: the NFL announced the off-season workout program. Dates for the Pound Eagles, not hashtag, is this: first day, April 17th. And that's an OTA off-season workouts. May 23rd through the 25th, May 30th through June 1st, June 5th through June 8th. Mandatory minicamp, only one, June 13th through the 15th. So that's the Eagles off-season workout. Once they go through that June 15th and they have that minicamp, once that's over, we don't see them again to training camp, late July. So that's truly, truly, truly the dead time for the NFL, unless you're a Cowboy, right? If you're a Cowboys fan, that's where you hold your breath. Always at that time, you have to hold your breath, because that's usually when the Cowboys get arrested, they get in trouble with the law, they get caught in hotels with crack cocaine, whatever it is. That's like the Cowboy fans' scariest time of the year, that period, because something always happens to them. So we'll see. Victor Williams, shout out to him. He said this: sources say Eagles host 3 stout defensive linemen for pre-draft visits, including Georgia's Jalen Carter. Now, we talked about the other guys yesterday, but Jalen Carter met with the Eagles. And this is such an interesting guy. To me, Jalen Carter is truly a fascinating situation, because here's a guy that arguably is the best talent in the draft, okay? I would say this, and I'll tell you this. My top 3 guys in this draft are Will Anderson Jr., then Jalen Carter, then Bijan Robinson. I know that may be a shock for a lot of you guys because you all think I would say take him at 10, take him 10, although I keep talking about drafting defense at 10 and then trading up. Although I wouldn't shy away from taking Robinson at 10 if I had to. But those 2 guys I would have to take before Robinson, and probably be the only guys that I would, because I think Anderson and Carter are studs. But Carter's an interesting situation because we don't, I don't know where his head is. I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, we know he got in trouble. He was, drag racing, and then, his friend died. And then he goes to the combine. They issue a warrant for his arrest. He has to leave the combine. That can't look good. Then he goes to his pro day, 9 pounds heavier. And, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. But to me, it's all got to be connected, right? It's all connected. It sounds like he's suffering from, everything that happened. And maybe he was a little down, depressed or whatever, going into the pro day. And he came in out of shape. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But the Eagles would have to figure that out. They have to definitely figure out and get into his head. But I got to tell you this. I kind of think that if Jalen Carter's at 10, the Eagles take him. I almost think it's It's a no-brainer. And here's the thing. They may be the best fit because the one thing I think Jalen Carter probably needs is support. He needs people that can help mentor him, help steer him in the right way, and know where his mind is, and maybe help him with the transition from college to the pros. What better people to do that than Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis, 2 of his teammates that he knows well. So you got to keep this in mind because the Eagles may look at those guys and say, because we have those guys, Jalen Carter is an option for us at 10. It's going to be interesting. It really is. I go back and forth with Jalen Carter in terms of, do I think he's going to drop or do I think he's going to go before 10? If he goes, he's going to go like 8 or 9. He's not going to go much earlier than that, in my opinion. So the Eagles have a possible chance to get him. Now, if they stay at 10 and get him, yes, I'm getting my 30th pick a second, and I'm going up and getting Bijan Robinson. Draft number 5. To me, that's still key. But you have to take Jalen Carter in that situation over him. You just do. Okay? I find it very interesting what the Eagles are doing right now. Howie Roseman has got a plan. You see how he's strategically signing the players and the positions he's signing, right? He took care of his corners. He's taken care of his safeties. He's pretty much dealt with his linebackers. Okay, yes, he could still tweak it here or there, but he made sure he went out and got veteran players for them. The 2 positions really hasn't touched. Well, 1, I think the defensive line, and 2, offense. He really hasn't messed with the offense yet, really at all. Don't you find that a little bit interesting? That he's not at all really dealt with this offense. Yes, he got Rashad Penny as a running back. You had to get somebody in here, right? But that's really not enough. I don't see Penny as the starter. I don't see Gainwell as a starter. I think they're going to bring in another running back. I do. Whether it's the guy I want, number 5, or if it's Gibbs, or if it's somebody else, I think the Eagles are. I think another shoe is going to drop when it comes to the running back position, and I find it interesting that the Eagles really haven't addressed offense yet. I almost get this feeling that as everybody's expecting the Eagles to go defense the first round, right? All these teams are going defense. I almost have a feeling the Eagles are going to go offense in the draft and just really freak people out. And then they're going to take the guys that they had, like the Terrell Edmonds and guys like that they signed on defense. They look at them as like bridge safeties, right? Or 1-year guys. They may wait and draft heavy defense the next draft. I really think the fact that we haven't really seen any offensive players come in here except for 1, I really think that leans towards the Eagles are getting ready to do something in this draft. If you see how the chessboard is lined up and the players that they have signed, they've signed safeties, they've signed their corners, they got linebacker. The Eagles are all set up they're all set up to draft offense. They're all set up for Bijan Robinson. I'm just going to tell you the truth. They're set up perfectly for him. Or Jahmyr Gibbs or whatever. The name, we won't worry about the name in this video. But I think they're set up for offense. I think they're getting ready to draft offense in this draft early. I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. But it just makes sense to me. The way that they've been going about free agency, it's very, very curious, you know. I think the Eagles may be looking at the draft as you take maybe a defensive player with that first pick. Then your next 2 picks, you go offense, maybe even more than that. The Eagles are getting ready for something. I can feel it right now. I can feel it in the air. I don't know exactly what's coming. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. But I'll tell you this. Howie's got something up his sleeve. He's got something up his sleeve, and it's going to be big, and it's going to shock the world. And all the pieces that are on that chessboard right now of the players he signed and everything he's setting up is for a bigger purpose. He has a bigger purpose in mind. We just can't see how all the dots connect yet. And if I had to guess, I'm starting to really think they may go running back in the first round. I think it may really be possible. Even though it's not something they've done in the past, I know. They did try, and they were interested in doing it with Christian McCaffrey, which tells us they're not totally opposed to the idea. But something's coming, and Howie's got a plan. And it has been evident in free agency and what they have done so far. So we got to keep our eye on it. Everybody's expecting heavy defense. Yet the offense has barely been addressed. And a lot of positions on offense don't need to be addressed, but there are some that do. You still need to get depth at the offensive line spot. You still need another wide receiver, in my opinion, to compete with Quez Watkins, and you still need another running back. The Eagles, and maybe another tight end. So there are moves to be made offensively. The Eagles haven't even attempted to do it. I really wonder if they're saving it for the draft. Maybe the Eagles look at it like this. Everybody else is going to go draft defensive players. Defense is going to go heavy, especially early in this draft. Why not get the best offensive players and have our pick of the litter? Because everybody's going to be focusing more on quarterbacks at the top of the draft and then defense. The Eagles have a chance to maybe get some of the better offensive players in this draft. Just a thought, just the way Howie Roseman thinks. He's done this before. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Smitty Eagle 373. He just started his YouTube channel not too long ago, and he invited me on his channel. I was just on with Joe Castro. He was on as well. We talked about everything from Bijan Robinson to Lamar Jackson to everything going on. It was very fun and entertaining conversation. It was a fun stream, and you guys should definitely go check out his channel. Shout out to Smitty Eagle 373. Go show him some love. I'm going to leave the link in the description. Go watch the episode. Sub him up. Tell him Philly 500 sent you, and to tell him to draft number 5. Tell him that. But yeah, you guys check it out. He's just starting, and I thought it was a fun time, a good job by him hosting the show. So go show him some love. Tell him Denzel Washington sent you. With that said, Denzel Washington out.